What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97 and welcome to episode number 42, the first edition of Monday Night Raw following the Battleground pay-per-view for my WWE 2K16 Universe mode. And as you can see, we are kicking this one off with the Animal, Dave Batista. And in case you've forgotten, Batista made his return last week on Monday Night Raw by answering the Cesaro United States Championship Open Challenge. But some of you may have thought, well, it's maybe just a one-off. Batista, that's it. He's coming back for that one match, and that's it. Well, no, that is not the case. And in fact, that is exactly why Batista is out here tonight. As you can see, he's not dressed in your typical in-ring competition attire. No, he's out here because he has something to say to the locker room, the WWE Universe, and of course everybody watching at home behind your computer screens, or I guess in front of them, as it were. Anyways, let's go ahead and kick it over to the Animal Dave Batista here in just a few moments. I mean, really, it's so amazing to see Batista back here in the WWE. The last time we saw him was just before WrestleMania, where really, I mean, Batista's last run wasn't all that successful. He once competed for the WWE Championship, just fell short, but perhaps we'll see if things will be different this time around. Things have drastically changed since I last stepped foot in the ring. The reception is much better too, and for that, thank you. This time, I swear that I will be much more productive than before. In my absence, I've not only realized my one crippling flaw, but I've since taken steps to correct it. My previous obsession over the World Championship started my own downfall, but that won't happen again. This time, I've returned with a much different agenda. As I stated before, things have changed, and they haven't changed for the better. While I was away, I saw entitled, incompetent children squirm their way to the top. Back in my day, that wouldn't have happened. My world was a man's world, a world where success was determined by the amount of blood, sweat, and tears you poured into it. You earned everything you had. Arrogant punks got black eyes and chipped teeth, but now the place is crawling with them. And while I won't waste my breath calling them all out, there is one bottom feeder in particular that I despise above all the others. That boy is Seth Rollins. I call him a boy because I know that he doesn't have it in him to fight me one-on-one. He'd sooner dispatch his cronies than take a single step in my direction, but one way or another, I will get my hands on him. How do I know this? Well, I wouldn't be standing here if I wasn't. In 4 weeks' time, WWE once again hosts the annual Survivor Series. And if there's one thing that event is known for, it's assembling superstars with the utmost hatred for each other into a single match. Rollins may have his lapdogs backing him, but he has far more enemies than allies. The same can be said for his opponent, though, and that's where I come in. Dean Ambrose, if you're looking for another partner, sign me up. We may not see eye to eye, but... Well, it looks like somebody's out here to interrupt Batista, try to perhaps make a name for themselves, but I don't think this is a very smart idea at all. But then again, have these two really been known for making smart decisions here in Universe Mode? It's of course the party animals, Fandango and Adam Rose. And well, as always, they've got their pom-poms. They're ready to... I have no idea. Well, it looks like we're gonna have an impromptu matchup here. Batista, he's thrown off the shirt and tie, and he's looking to really just punish Adam Rose for coming out here and interrupting his little address to the universe, as it were. Fandango here at ringside. And that's probably a smart decision on the part of Fandango not to participate in this matchup. Adam Rose, I can only imagine what kind of a beating he has in store. Although Batista wasn't exactly prepared for a match this evening. He's not wearing his usual trunks, so perhaps that could give Adam Rose a bit of an advantage. Could restrict Batista's movement perhaps a little bit. Also, Batista not really being in the mindset for in-ring competition as he made his way down here to the ring. But we did hear what Batista had to say a few moments ago, and that was a blockbuster announcement just made by Paul Heyman earlier today that there will be at Survivor Series a 5-on-5 tag team elimination match. Team Ambrose versus Team Rollins. And we have yet to hear who will be participating on Team Rollins. We've yet to hear who will be participating on Team Ambrose. However, we do know that Batista has now thrown his name into the mix for Team Ambrose as Adam Rose the cover, but a kick out by Batista. Fandango already playing a distraction in this matchup, trying to give Adam Rose a bit of a advantage, trying to utilize the numbers game, but well, there he is again. Fandango again distracting Batista. Referee's gonna have to keep Fandango under control out over there. But still Batista able to maintain his offensive despite the interferences by Fandango. Oh, and now Batista's heading to the outside. Batista, he's looking to take care of Fandango with a spear! Fandango may have just been broken in half by Batista. And Batista now looking to get back in the ring. Adam Rose tried to attack him before he could even set foot in the squared circle. But Batista, he's not wasting any time. It's the time for fun and games is over. Batista bomb. And he might have driven him straight through the canvas. 1, 2, 3. Batista, in dominant fashion, puts away Adam Rose here tonight. And you saw there at the end, Fandango, he didn't want any part of the animal after that spear. He did not get involved to try to break up that pinfall attempt. But Batista, yet, I mean, we saw his impressive performance last week against Cesaro. And while he did come up short, Batista, he openly admitted following that matchup that it wasn't really about winning. It was to see, I mean, he wasn't here to win the US title. He was just looking to prove himself.
This is my title from now on, and no one has the courage to challenge me for it. My title reign will be one for the ages.
Welcome back to Monday Night Raw, and as you can see, these are the matchups that took place earlier on. Rob Van Dam picking up a singles victory, and as well as that, Hideo Itami and Sami Zayn with victories of their own. But as I was saying just before the commercial break, Batista, his return last week, he openly stated following that matchup that that matchup wasn't about winning the United States Championship. He just wanted to prove to himself that he could still go at that top level. And now tonight he is back with a victory over Adam Rose. I think if I'm Dean Ambrose, Batista's making a strong case for my team. I think if you can get a former world champion, the Animal, on your side, I mean, why would you deny that option? I think that's a very strong member that you can add to your team. And I'm sure we'll probably be seeing Sami Zayn joining Dean Ambrose as well. Sami Zayn really was the first guy to put his neck out there on behalf of Dean Ambrose to try to give him a helping hand against Blake and Murphy last Sunday, but unfortunately it was Blake and Murphy who did get the win. But nonetheless, I'm sure Dean Ambrose is grateful that Sami Zayn would try to help him last Sunday at Battleground. But speaking of last Sunday at Battleground, we are looking at one of the two men who debuted at the Battleground pay-per-view. This is the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. And he's going one-on-one with R-Truth here tonight. Samoa Joe, what an impressive showing he had in the United States Championship triple threat matchup. That also involves Cesaro and the debuting Baron Corbin. Samoa Joe, he did not walk out with the United States title. That honor went to Baron Corbin. but Samoa Joe nonetheless dominated a fair portion of that matchup. And right now he is just dominating R-Truth. That running senton, looking to crush the life out of R-Truth. And very early on, Samoa Joe with the clear-cut advantage in this matchup. He's just looking to destroy R-Truth tonight and send a message to both Baron Corbin and just anybody in that Raw locker room that Samoa Joe is here. And Samoa Joe, he is out for blood. A running big boot right into the face of R-Truth. And Samoa Joe, you want to talk about the makings of a future world champion. I mean, we've seen Kevin Owens with his quick rise to stardom over on SmackDown. I think Samoa Joe has the same potential. He really has made a name for himself on the independents. I mean, you're talking about a former Ring of Honor world champion, a former TNA world champion. Samoa Joe, he really has done it all except become the world champion here in the WWE. And I'm sure that it won't be too long before we can say that Samoa Joe is WWE champion. Well, right now he just nearly kicked R-Truth's face in with that enziguri. Oh, now look at this. He's got R-Truth locked in for the coquina clutch. And R-Truth is trapped in the center of the ring. There's no way he can break out of this. And R-Truth forced to submit. Otherwise, he would have had to pass out. Samoa Joe makes quick work of R-Truth here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And I'd have to say that is an impressive Raw debut for this man, Samoa Joe. He just quickly got rid of R-Truth like he was nothing. You want to talk about a man who could be next in line. I mean, he had a strong enough performance at Battleground. Cesaro does have his rematch clause for the United States Championship. But I'd say after that, Samoa Joe, if he even decides to pursue that title, I'd say he could almost right now be the #1 contender. Unfortunately, though, Cesaro is standing in his way with that contractually obligated rematch clause. He is owed one. But now we're going to move on to the main event of this evening. And you want to talk about #1 contenders. We are about to crown the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship at Battleground. This one is between the Bulgarian Brute, the super athlete, Rusev. We're not going to roll the R's this time. Not today. Rusev, he's going one-on-one with, well, you see the fan there with the sign in the crowd. It is, of course, the man who defeated his best friend, although I guess now his former best friend, Edge, at Battleground, to earn this opportunity. It is Captain Charisma, the former World Heavyweight Champion himself, the leader of the Peep Show, the host, I suppose, Christian. And Christian, well, like his actions or not, recently Christian really has turned a much more aggressive side, if that was even possible. We thought before when he lost the World Championship, he had become incredibly aggressive, but now he's gone so far as to stab his tag team partner in the back, and he's been getting victories because of it. A couple weeks ago, he defeated the Big Show. And then, of course, at Battleground, the win over Edge, after he had laid him out with a kill switch. Now tonight, he goes one-on-one with Rusev, another man who has been on quite the winning streak as of late. But Rusev, perhaps he's been a little too distracted with Seth Rollins recently. And we saw at Battleground, Rusev, he got a victory as well by just decimating Seth Rollins in that singles matchup. That was after Rollins had screwed him over at King of the Ring. I mean, Rusev could have very well been the winner of that King of the Ring tournament if not for Seth Rollins. And then he wouldn't even have to be competing for this opportunity to become the #1 contender. Of course, we do know the eventual winner of the King of the Ring tournament was Titus O'Neil, and he has since revealed that he will, in fact, be challenging Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series, which is how this matchup came into being tonight. Well, Christian could be looking for the kill switch early here. Nope, that's not the case. Rusev with a counter. And he takes Christian down to the mat. Rusev now drops the headbutt right into the shoulder of Christian. And I'm sure the World Heavyweight Champion Ryback is going to be watching this matchup very intently. Both of these men, they do have history with Ryback. And it's not very good history for either man. You look at Christian, his history is well documented. At Money in the Bank more recently, he fell short in a singles matchup with a non-title singles matchup. But in the past as well, the Intercontinental Championship, that was how Ryback won the title, by defeating Christian at last year's SummerSlam, then retaining it at Night of Champions. The infamous kickout of 3 kill switches that I have spoken of previously. But then as for Rusev, well, Christian, he went for a missile dropkick, but Rusev able to duck out of the way. Rusev, on the other hand, he has faced Ryback back at the Payback pay-per-view, and unfortunately for Rusev, that was a loss for him. Prior to that, Rusev had been on quite the winning streak, and ever since, Rusev, he's really managed to keep up that dominant presence. But really, that's the main blip on his record, is that that loss to Ryback at the Payback pay-per-view. That really could have been the breakout match for Rusev, really could have propelled him directly into the World Championship title picture, but unfortunately that was not the case. And another man that these two men both... Wait a minute. Christian, the roll-up. Small package. If the referee would get in position. 2. No. Kick out by Rusev. Bit of bad officiating there. The ref should have been there to count that pin a little bit quicker. But this referee, his reaction times are not the greatest. Maybe we'll have to send him back to NXT for some more training. Anyways, another man that these two competitors both have history with is the former World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler. And this is where things start to differ a little bit. Christian, he has never defeated Dolph Ziggler, and they have competed on numerous occasions. I've lost count of how many times they've faced off. I believe last time it was 5 or 6, and Christian has lost all of those matches. As for Rusev, though, he's only faced Dolph Ziggler once, and he was victorious. He made Dolph Ziggler tap out to the Accolade. Right now, Christian into the cover, but Rusev kicks out. And ultimately, that victory over Dolph Ziggler was what got Rusev into the world title hunt several months ago. Unfortunately, he just hasn't been able to achieve to capture that #1 spot. But he's been very close, and this could perhaps be his breakout moment. Rusev lining him up for perhaps a super kick, but Christian ducked outside of the ring, and now he hangs Rusev out to dry. That's the veteran instincts of Christian. Very smart ring presence there, but now Rusev counters, and he's just looking to make up for that lack of experience with raw power. And he did just that, sending Christian flying out to the floor, and now slams him down with a Uranagi side slam. Almost like a one-handed choke slam right there. And Christian, he's in a world of trouble. Fall-away slam from the Bulgarian Brute. And once again, there's that war cry of Rusev. And you know, when he starts to get fired up like this, it is bad news for his opponent. But now Christian sends him tripping over those steel steps. Christian now heading to the top rope, and this is not going to be good. For one way or another, this is bad news. Christian looking to fly to the outside, missile dropkick right to the back of Rusev's skull, and I think Christian, he might have just barely missed landing on those steel steps. But nonetheless, that fall to the floor really took a lot out of him. And now Rusev slammed into the barricade. Christian, he's looking to take... well, I mean, if he can inflict more damage on Rusev than he can take, that's really the name of the game, isn't it? Christian, that high-risk move might have hurt himself, but as long as he hurt Rusev more, that's all that matters. As this matchup gets back into the ring. Christian picking Rusev up. Has him up on his shoulders. No, but wait. Rusev driving the elbows right into the side of the head of Christian. Oh, and this is not going to be good. Christian slammed down by Rusev. And now Rusev could put him away. 1, 2. No, Christian kicks out at 2. Rusev thought that might have been it. And he has defeated several opponents in the past with that same move, but it's not enough to keep Christian down for a 3 count tonight. Stomp now to the forehead of Christian. One of the things I've pointed out previously is that Rusev has started wearing those boots. And as if his kicks weren't devastating enough before, the fact now that he does wear those boots will add just a little extra damage. And perhaps just something so minor as that, if you keep hitting somebody over and over, the damage is going to add up. As right now, Christian slammed into the corner. Rusev follows through with a ferocious clothesline. And now Rusev looking to size him up for yet another super kick. Right on the money. And that could put Christian's lights out. 1, 2. No, are you kidding me? Christian, with whatever he's got left in him, manages to survive for yet another pinfall attempt. But he's in a bad way. That super kick has got him dazed. And Rusev looking to continue the onslaught. Belly-to-belly suplex now. Christian. This is not where he wants to be. Rusev, if he can start to hit those suplexes, if he can start to manhandle you like this, there might be no coming back from it. As now Rusev driving the knees right into the rib cage of Captain Charisma. And a fall-away slam to follow it up. And Rusev now, he's looking to go for the accolade. Christian trying to get out of harm's way. But he's right in the center of the ring, right where Rusev wants him. But Christian, what a counter! A beautiful arm drag and a swinging neck breaker. Christian, a great counter there to send Rusev flying. And now Christian, he's looking to fly himself. To the top rope he goes, but Rusev is right there, right in position to stop that from happening. But now Christian kicks him off. Christian still has fight left in him, and a missile drop kick right to the chest of the super athlete, but Rusev getting back to his feet. Christian, meanwhile, to the top rope again, and another missile drop kick. Christian using as much high-risk offense as he possibly can to make sure that Rusev stays down for a 3 count, and now a reverse DDT. That could put Rusev away. 1, 2. No! Try as he might, Christian cannot keep Rusev down for a 3 count. All those drop kicks, it did absolutely nothing in regards to finishing Rusev off. Christian throws him off. Huge kick right to the face. And now Rusev is groggy. Christian has him up on his shoulders yet again. And again, it's Rusev. Counter with an Impaler DDT. And now Christian back to his feet. Huge! No! Rusev was looking for a huge clothesline, but Christian sidestepped it. And now a backbreaker. Christian once more looking to fly off the top rope. Here we go, diving headbutt. And Christian, after all these high-risk moves, one of them has got to put Rusev away, surely. Christian again, just relentless, a frog splash this time, and the hook of the leg on Rusev. 1, 2, no, another kick out. Christian has to be thinking to himself, I've hit this man with nearly everything I've got. What is it going to take? How much resiliency does this Rusev have? Christian placing him up on the top rope. This is not going to be good for either one of these two men. But the question is, will it be enough to finish the job? A reverse suplex from the top rope. And Christian managing to roll Rusev over. 1, 2. No, and again Rusev kicks out. Christian, he is beside himself right now. Rusev, no matter what Christian does, will not stay down for a 3 count, but Christian just slapped him right in the face. Christian, he's fed up. He's had enough. And perhaps now could be going in for the kill. Kill switch, in fact. And he rolls Rusev over. The shoulders are down. 1, 2, 3. This match is finally over. Christian has finally become #1 contender once again. His journey back to the World Heavyweight Championship filled with betrayal and regret. Christian has finally done it. He's finally attained the #1 contender's right, and he will be challenging Ryback, the Human Wrecking Ball, at Survivor Series with the World Heavyweight Championship up for grabs.